guys. Just checking out a new cotton picker. Let's go see what Dr. Wyatt's doing.
We're talking about Airway, and this is the second video I'm going to do about Airway. And this time I'm going to discuss what does nose breathing do for you. And you would be surprised knowing the difference in nose breathing and mouth breathing. There is a tremendous difference that affects your whole life. I mean, it'll affect the way your face grows. And people who constant mouth breathers keep their mouth open. They don't swallow properly, and their teeth move toward each other, and their lower part of their face grows longer, and it really messes up the appearance of your face. If you add a ½ inch to the length of your face and you look kind of like this, you're going around, and it causes your chin drops back as your mouth opens, and it looks like you don't have much chin, and you're sitting around here and you try to close your mouth, you look bad. And most of the time these mouth breathers have little short upper lips. Now I breathe through my mouth some, but not very, well, I breathe a good bit, but not enough to change my facial structure. Now mouth breathers in humans are from almost none to constant mouth breathers, and constant mouth breathers really have a problem. Now I want to go back and mention a Dr. Harvold who worked with a bunch of monkeys, and this was years ago, but he took these monkeys to see what it did, and he plugged up their noses where they couldn't possibly breathe through their nose. So all these monkeys, there were, I don't know, about 20 of these Rhesus monkeys, which are pretty closely kin to us, whether you want to admit it or not. They're pretty close to, they have a lot of stuff that we have, I tell you, and we have a lot of stuff that they've got. Well, these monkeys ran around and they couldn't breathe through their nose, but they did different things. They sucked it through the side, or they did something. All of the monkeys had a terrible malocclusion. Their faces grew really crazy like, Human beings' faces grow wrong too. They'll have long faces, narrow palates, and their lip structure won't grow far enough down. Now, all this stuff goes wrong. But to breathe through your nose, what you need to know is that the air coming in through your nose humidifies to almost 100%. Your nose doesn't dry out. Now, if you're a mouth breather, you go to sleep at night, you don't stay breathing through your mouth for just maybe 15 or 20 minutes, or maybe even less sometimes. Your mouth will dry out and feel like leather in there. You'll wake up at night, you're breathing through your mouth, and your mouth just feels terrible, It dries out. But your nose, the body sends a lot of moisture in there to keep this cilia loaded with moisture, so it picks up the junk that you catch. It catches an awful lot of it, and you actually swallow the stuff. Then the nose acts like a carburator. It kind of controls the force that you have to suck on to get the air in. If you suck the air in, it goes in at a high velocity. It goes in traveling with a higher speed, and it is carried out into the cilia, into the ports of the lung, the real small areas of your lung, and the change of carbon dioxide and oxygen is much better there. So consequently, your blood oxygen is higher if you breathe through your nose as opposed to breathing through your mouth. Now some of you say, oh, that can't be because runners breathe through their mouth. but you don't see a runner going along breathing. He's got to have a lot of oxygen, so he while they run. I used to run track. In fact, I scored more points in high school than anybody else in track, and I know what you have to do. You can't get enough oxygen. And heck with the quality of it, I've got to have the air one way or the other, so you breathe it through your mouth as fast as you possibly can, and it goes in with this velocity, and it's driven out into the little alveoli of your lungs. So then the other thing that the nose does, it filters. Everything going in is filtered, and as much as can be caught off of it comes out on these little cilia, and then it gets in down, and you suck it down in and get it in your throat, and you swallow the junk, and it doesn't bother your stomach if you don't have too much of this crud. Now it also heats up the air so that it's body temperature pretty much when you get it into your lungs, so it doesn't freeze your lungs out. So the nose does all this. You can't get it through your nose, you're going to get it through your mouth. And if you have some obstruction in your nose, then you have to suck with such a certain amount of force. Then when you're sleeping or not thinking about it, your mouth will open up to let you have the air, because you've got to have the air to live. There's no way what quality it is, doesn't seem to matter. You're going to take it in whatever you can get. So we'll talk about other parts about this later on, but this part is getting the air and what does nose breathing do for us. Thank you now. Bye-bye.